as you can tell, I've been doing this for a little while now. I'll let it sit and I'll re-inspect, and then I'll pick it up again and I'll do it again. When I do a garage floor, what I'm doing is sometimes I put a base primer. Well, first I blow the driveway or blow the garage using a blower. I'll mop it between 9 and 14 times using various products. At the end, using alcohol to wipe it off, and then straight hot water. Then I'll go ahead and put a primer on. When I see the cracks, typically most people seal the cracks and then they put the primer. I put a primer, I seal the cracks, and I put a primer over the cracks using a different color and different product. This is the black is actually a Loxon product. It's their top of the line. The primer, I typically use a color top, which is a Sherwin-Williams product as well. And then I'll use a product, don't mind my fingers here, one of my favorites, but I use several different ones. This one's from Home Depot, but I'll use several different products. And as this is starting to dry, the Loxon, the primer's already been set a couple of days. I put the Loxon on, and then after it sets a little bit, it's starting to dry up. But you can barely tell it's wet. I'll go ahead and apply this. A straight line bead over the crack. You can't really see the crack anymore. And then I'll just gently go over it just like this. So that when I'm done, and you see the mess it makes, right? It's my wonderful kids right there. Hi. My little helpers. When I'm done, you won't be able to see the crack nor the elevation change. And I'll just do this over and over and over again. Like I said, when I'm done, you can see a little bit of right there. A little bit right there. See that, guys?
Yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
So I might put a little bit of that right there, right? Kind of get it in there, right? Right? And just go back and forth, right? Sometimes I let it dry a little bit before I start wiping it back and forth. Because if it's too wet, then it just wipes right off.
Yeah.
Right?
It'll wipe the black off.
It'll wipe itself off too, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I do that throughout the whole. Sorry about my fingers keep getting in the way. I don't know where the camera is. But I don't have really good lighting here because I'm working at nighttime. I typically do indoor work at night and outdoor work during the day. Okay, it's the garage outside. It's pitch black. There's my color top products. So anyway, so when this is all done, and I'll make sure I have before and after pictures for you. My process will have been to I'll put another primer on top of all this when this is done, and then I'll put typically 3 coats of color top on. Most people, when doing a driveway, most painters will use about 4 gallons. I will use typically, depending how big the driveway is and the sidewalk as well to match, I will use about 10 gallons. I use a lot, but I usually primer up the walls a little bit. So it's a primer, and I use different colors so I can know where it's a automobile painter's trick, not a house painter's trick. Automobile painter's trick is if you're a good painter and you actually care and you're doing custom automobiles and getting paid, $30,000 to $150,000 to do a restoration, you'll do what's called a guide coat. And guide coat simply, the concept of the guide coat, you use a different color. It's like almost like a spray paint, and use a different color on top of the work you've already done. And then when you sand it completely off, you've sanded everything. Well, I use the same process here to where I'll use different colored primers to make sure I've hit all my bases. So I'm not using the same color, therefore I may not know what I've hit and what I haven't hit. So I'll use different color primers, and I'll use different color layers of sealer, solid color sealer, when I'm doing a garage floor or a driveway. I do the same thing with a house, and to make sure I do the right job every time, and the customer is getting a good job, and that's how I can give my 25-year warranty, because I know it's done right. And if I have to come back and fix it, I will sure enough fix it free of charge. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Say bye.
Bye.
By the way, I normally wouldn't have them at your house if I'm doing this. But sometimes I will, right?